Good Monday morning. It is a little bit earlier than normal. We're going to be doing that all week. I've got a commitment with the local first responders, public servants, law enforcement. I'll get to be spending some time every day this week, several of them. But this morning, we're listening in as Luke records the events of the sailing crisis, this adventure where the crew has already tossed over all the cargo, all the tackle because of this horrible storm. If you saw this storm from the International Space Station, it would it would more than likely look like one of these giant hurricanes that you see. The top is this large circle of clouds with an eye in the center. That is more than likely what they were experiencing in this old wooden sailing vessel. What might not have been old is to us. They've wrapped ropes around the hull. They have thrown off everything they can throw off. And they've heard the Apostle Paul now say, should have listened to me. Listen to me now. As long as you stay faithful, what I'm about to tell you, everyone will survive. So that's where we pick it up here. And Luke gives us these details. But when the 14th night came, as we were being driven about in the Adriatic Sea, about midnight, the sailors began to surmise that we were approaching some land. They took soundings and found it to be 20 fathoms. And a little farther on, they took another sounding and found it to be 15 fathoms. And leaving aside all the skill of the sailors, the whole point is they began to surmise we're getting close to land. They had a feel for the sea, the way the waves move. They could tell the ocean is getting shallower. Maybe the sound. I don't know how they do it, but they began to perceive getting close to land. Sea is getting shallower. And my point is those feelings proved to be accurate. They took soundings, and a little further on, they took soundings again. And the second one was obviously much shallower than our feelings, our perception also need to be verified. They said, we think this is happening, so let's test it. It it seems like this is what's going on. So let's measure it. Let's measure what we can. Let's test what we can. See if what we perceive, what we surmise, is actually the truth. That that's a great idea in every aspect of our lives. We can perceive things, we can surmise things, but we need to discover if it's really true, if it's measurable. Get a tape measure or a yardstick or a ruler and measure it. If it is weight, then get a scales. There are a lot of different ways that we can identify physical events, like letting down the measuring rope over the side of the ship, see how deep water is. We can, if we're in a relationship, we simply ask. Ask the right question with kindness and honesty. If it's with the car, we feel something might not be right. We look at the dashboard and see what the dials or the lights tell us. We pull over, we go to the gas station. In all these areas of our lives, we should be motivated by what we perceive, but we ought to verify. When a friend tells me this is the way it is, he shouldn't be offended if I verify it. It's not that I don't trust him. I do trust him, but it should be verified. And so it ought to be that way in all of our lives. Trust and verify. When a preacher tells you something's in the Bible, you should trust him and then look it up. Read it for yourself in context. Trust and verify is a great way for us to follow the example of those sailors and sail through life. God bless you. He loves you, and we love you.